And you can hear me fine?
Live from the apocalypse. You gotta back up off of me. This is State of Game. I am your host, Dano, titillated by improvement. That's what I am. As titillated by improvement as my co-host is sale stickers. If it's not full price, that's the high he gets.
Yes, absolutely. It's the little things.
30% and up. Oh, that's a different person. That's a different person walking through that store. Um, Thank you for being here, K Diggy.
Yeah, man.
This is just us. We've been in the interview thing, locked in, talking to great minds.
Yeah, man. We've been on the run the last couple of months.
On
A
a
lot of
run,
great shows.
on a run the whole year. And this time we're back to our heart here, a review podcast where we are reviewing music, but we love to have a theme. We love to chew on a theme a bit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, so the albums are we have two albums to discuss today, and there's the Cool Kids High Top Fade and God Takes Care of Babies and Fools by Myka 9 and Blue. So we picked those because those are they had this thought of a show for us to just we had a show a while ago that was talking about the kinds of ins and outs of a personal album and what goes into that. You remember
Mhm.
this?
Yeah, was a few years ago, was it not?
I think so.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But I do remember that show, yes.
And I and we had some albums that were like a good example of it. And I just figured we would do a similar situation with fun albums,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, when listening to rap is fun because the nature of these things has changed drastically.
Nature of Fun albums.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. I would agree with that.
When I was a kid, what am I talking about? When I was just not old, right? Um, the Fun album was like basically an expectation in the popular space.
An expectation. Okay, and what do you mean by that?
Like Jay was in rooms with executives, and they were like, "That's fine. You can talk about the block all you want, but we need a single, right? We need to do it again." You know?
Okay, so you're talking about in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And or even the
Yeah.
2000s. Like it was still in the popular space. The expectation was, you know, we are selling fun, right? You can say all the weird shit you want in your deep cuts, Eminem, but your single better be a stomping good time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to think about how we came across music back in the 90s. Uh, Most people were exposed to music either through MTV or the radio. So what that means is you had to create something that grabbed attention and transported people emotionally very quickly in terms of within 10 seconds
Right, right,
in order to keep their attention.
right. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean it's really weird because to your point, what you were just saying, right? The labels set the standard back then for what was fun, right?
Hmm.
Labels put the money behind Nelly, the whole world singing Nelly,
Yeah.
right? Cash Money hits, the whole world is rocking with it, right? Meta narrative, controlled by that industry. But post Napster, mixtape era, blog era, who's in control of it gets divested. You know what I mean?
Who's in control of what?
Of the singles,
Of the singles. Okay.
of the like, you remember when Future went crazy with the multiple albums in the year,
Yeah.
and like
Was it like 2018? Maybe
something like
like
that. And then
yeah,
like the internet picked Mask off.
right.
The internet kind of it was trending, right? People were like, this is the song, and it became the song because the internet made it the song. That could
Interesting.
never have
Yes.
happened in 2001.
Interesting. I would agree. I think that was a song that went viral in a lot of ways. Like I think of it in the same vein as Bad and Bougie by the Migos.
Yep.
The songs went, like you said, the internet caught hold of them, and then they kind of spread like wildfire.
Yep. And so what becomes a pop hit changes, right? Um Even something like Started from the Bottom,
Hmm.
it's a bit of a weird hit.
Hmm.
It's on the face of it not not as fun as an executive would make it.
Well, I mean, the not as fun. Now, what do you mean by that? Because that's interesting. Not as fun as an executive would make it.
Right. Like it's kind of a quirky song,
So,
right?
okay.
It's delivered in in a drone kind of way. It's got a little bit of a quirky beat. Uh,
Yes.
the first time I heard it, I was like, "This sucks," and then I played it a second time, and I was like, "That motherfucker's a genius!" Like it was. So that's it. What was a pop song changed, you know?
Hmm.
Like we use Future's going to be the template, right? Future starts with Pluto, right? Like same damn time,
Yeah.
and we end up with Dirty Sprite 2. You
Mm.
know? Like we end up with this really dark Darth Vader future that still does insane numbers. And so the popular music in rap is no longer super fun to listen to on its face, you know?
It's not fun in. I mean, it depends on how you define fun. People define fun in a lot of ways, but it's not. There's not. It's not. I guess the best way to say it is like the fun that people would experience in the '90s and early 2000s is not the same fun that we are experiencing in modern times.
Right. And we should start with talking about the definition of a fun rap song.
Well,
Um, if someone asked you, um, you know, if Tim Meadows asked you to define what a fun rap song is, what would you do? How would you do that?
I mean, I think a fun rap song is a song that doesn't take itself too seriously in a lot of ways, but is at the same time there is like a level. It's a dichotomy in a lot of ways. There's a lot of structure to it, but at the same time, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Mhm. Yeah, it's well, and there's a lot of different kinds of them,
Yeah,
which is why I would. My definition would be a fun rap song is this rap song that takes over my body.
takes over your body.
If I put a fun rap song on in the car, I'm starting to go nuts. You know, I got my people in there, they're going nuts. You know what I mean? It's a fun rap song, like um, I have this theory, Kay, that the best song to play at a wedding is Billie Jean.
Yeah, I mean that's a standard. That's a wedding standard. Yeah, like not. I'm just gonna say the after party, the reception.
Right, right. Well, of course,
That's
yeah, not down the aisle.
right.
You know what people go two turn on the aisle. But yeah, the reception. When you play Billie Jean, something happens to everyone's body.
See now, okay, because I do think that that's an element of what you're saying. I think, uh, music wise, fun songs, and I will explore it a little bit more when we talk about these two albums.
Yep.
Music wise, fun songs have a little bit of a more kinetic energy
Right.
in
Right.
a way that uh, other types of songs don't.
It's a great point. Maybe cleaner way to say it would be is a song that activates you as a listener.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
like
would
that.
agree with that.
I like that. Because that way I want to leave the content open, right?
Mhm.
If you have a song that is about, genocide in the Congo, but it's crazy, it's slapping, right? It activates people. Like that can be a fun rap song um, with serious content, right? Like
Yeah.
it,
I mean, I think of, MIA Paper Planes. Like if you really listen to that, I mean, everyone bobs their head along with it and loves it. But that's not a light song.
right. There's lots of songs that are, standard like pop that are really serious,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's that, but it activates you. So I think that's where I would start with that. The One of the things that most concerns me is who gets artistic credibility and who doesn't.
Okay.
People that make fun music sometimes don't get artistic credit.
Like who are you thinking? Do you have a specific mind,
At
a
some point,
specific person in mind?
we will do a full when we get the right guest.
Okay.
We'll do a full Jeezy show. We'll do a full Jeezy episode. But like Jeezy's an example of somebody like that. He existed completely outside of artistic appreciation favorability.
Hmm.
It wasn't the coke rap stuff. Like the clips were always artistically appreciated, right? They were given their flowers for themselves as MCs.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're going coming out.
Jeezy was the ad libs were so crazy. It was so fun to listen to. Um, that and he came out on Trap or Die and said, you know, it's something like you guys are nerds. Like you guys studying up on all this shit are nerds. I'm a hustler. Like I make this shit work. And there was a sense that he was like, I'm not gonna be a scientist with this. You know, I'm gonna roll with this. And
Interesting.
but he created his own craft, and I think he's fantastic. Like I think he's got a really good, well, a superb discography, you know, and
That's an interesting point. I mean, I think Jeezy to me is like a he's a jack of all trades to me. So it's kind of hard to define him in a way.
but so the three architects of trap music, right?
Okay.
Ti, Gucci, Jeezy. Is that
Mm.
fair?
Yeah, I mean, popular trap music, yes, for sure.
The definition of it.
Okay.
You pull up these best lyricists ever lists, you'll see Ti. You'll see Ti.
Oh,
You may even see Gucci, but you will not see Jeezy's name. You will not see Jeezy's name.
well, I think Jeezy, and he's said this before. I think he had more pop sensibilities in terms of his song. Like he was making rap songs, but there was definitely a science behind it that was kind of made them into pop songs as well.
Right. And yeah, so I just think that's it's interesting to me who does that and who doesn't. Like for me as an old person, the comp I thought of with Jeezy was Jim Carrey. When Jim Carrey started with Ace Ventura was one of the most hated critical movies ever.
Hmm.
Critics hated The Mask. Critics hated all of his early shit, bro.
Right.
They hated all that shit. Here's news for you. Movie critics hate comedies. Period. Period. They're sour people. They hate comedies. So they hated Jim Carrey especially, right? Because he's very in your face comedy, talentless hack, yada yada. When he does Truman Show, when he does the
Right.
Dr. Dre stuff, that's when his reputation solidifies.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine, Truman Show, that's when people start going, oh, you know, the great Jim Carrey, like
Mm.
because before that they were just like, ugh. Like because he was making fun movies.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and I think what Jim realized, Jim had his pulse on almost the comedic zeitgeist of the time. Like he knew
Sure.
what what his audience found funny. I mean, not only did he do movies, I think he got to start on In Living Color, correct?
Yep.
So he had been
Right.
performing in front of live audiences uh, around other incredibly funny people. So he was not looking to make critically acclaimed out uh, uh, movies. He was looking to make his audience laugh.
And that's essentially, I think that's how Jeezy viewed it when
Yeah,
he was doing what he was doing, right? Like these guys, sure, they may like it, they may not like it, but who gives a fuck? Like I'm making this music. Like think about that shit. Like back in early Kendrick, I think it was Section 80.
okay,
He had this song where he was talking about riding around with his friends, getting motivated to Jeezy.
right. He's mentioned Jeezy several times lyrically,
So
and yeah,
why should Jeezy give a fuck what a critic in his time thinks when he is galvanizing a young Kendrick Lamar to want to make rap music?
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, I
Like,
I remember the first time I heard Jeezy, I was visiting my cousin in California,
right.
and he had I think he got the leaked. So Jeezy's first official album was, what was it? Thug Motivation 101.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
So I think, if I remember correctly, my cousin had gotten uh, the leaked bootleg version of that, and he
Right.
was playing that song.
That's awesome.
I mean, and he was playing the album for me in the car,
Yeah, dude.
and this
It's
was in California. So this showed you how much his influence had spread, across the nation so quickly at the time.
it's powerful, man. Like
Yeah,
in my mind, Jeezy is the best gym music artist of all time. There's no
one of the
rapper
best. Yep,
better to work out to,
absolutely.
period.
Correct.
But it's, and hit me in the comments if you disagree. But to the point uh, about this, about like the critics dismissing him, because by the way, I was one of those people, and I thought Jeezy was whack, right?
Mm.
Versus young Kendrick Lamar learning his motivation, right? My sense, personal sense, it touches my personal sense of what music criticism is, right? And the whole gatekeeping thing. I don't think the purpose of music criticism is to vote people off the island. You know what I mean? I don't think we're giving you a rose and keeping you for another week. That's not our fucking job.
No.
Our job is to take something that's important and help you understand the dimensions of it. Even if it's bad. If it's a bad important album, music criticism can help you understand the dimensions of how bad it is.
Mm. Interesting. I Interesting. You know what? It reminds me of, like, one. You ever seen the movie Ratatouille?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I mean that the it kind of reminds me of that scene at the end where the critic writes his. I'm not going to spoil too much of the movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
the critic writes his review of the restaurant.
Mhm.
Um, you're right. You're right. I think there is, in terms of a good critic helps you appreciate something. It's like, I think, what does the critic say? It's a friend of the new. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah. The simple way to put it, okay, would be at my best, I'm a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I can get you closer,
Hmm.
right? That's
Hmm.
all I'm trying to do, right? I'm not trying to tell anyone, you'll never make good music again. Like I'm not trying to do any weird shit like that. I
Right.
just want to get you closer. So
Right.
not everybody views it that way.
And I think you can magnify. I think also critics can not only magnify the artist, but also, the genre or the art in itself. Help us appreciate and understand uh, the art or the genre in in a better light.
No question. No question. Give a direct shout out. Tommy Brehan, uh, when his writing about Ka,
Hmm.
uh, but his goes by Tom Brehan. If you want to look him up, I've always referred to him as silly nicknames, even though I have never met this person. I'm a Tommy B, and I'm an idiot. But his writing about Ka was so beautiful and so well done. It helped me get closer to Ka's music. It was a big part of learning and understanding it because he would have that review right up, since he got the advanced copy, and just give it to you, and you'd be like, "Oh, cool, this is interesting." He would help you with that. I think that's cool. Um, so that's important, but like the and artists get that. when they do a personal or sensitive album.
Get what?
They get the in-depth criticism that Ka got.
Oh, okay.
Because Ka's music was dense, right? Uh it was slow. It was so loaded with craft, but with double, triple meanings, personal messages, sincerity. There was so much to unpack, right? You could easily write a lot of words on Ka, right? There was more than enough.
Right.
But I don't know if it would have been the same for MOP. You know what I mean? Is there as much to unpack in MOP's Warriors? Maybe, but it might not be as on the surface, right?
But I also think there is an element of criticism where a good critique almost you're almost getting like a peek into the mind of the person writing it. So that, I mean, that can be fascinating in a lot of ways as well. You know, they're using this piece of work to like like I don't know, work through something on in terms of internally. Like
Right, right.
I don't know, I don't think I'm explaining that right,
Well,
but
and that can go both ways. I mean, I have seen. Oh, this is one review I never forgot, man, because I wanted to keep it sharp in my mind, so I never did that shit.
mm,
Um, it was a great album came out. I was really interested to see the review. First two paragraphs of the review are about the writer going on a bike ride and listening to the music on the bike ride
yeah,
and using all his kind of, I don't know, Yale words and all that. And then, like, by the end of the second paragraph, he doesn't like it because it doesn't hit his heart on the bike ride. And I'm like, dude, who
fascinating.
gives a shit about your bike ride, bro? Like, this sucks. I just spent two paragraphs on your fucking bike ride.
Mm,
Like, I kept it in my mind to be like, look, if this is about the album, it's cool to share a personal thing that connects you to that music,
yeah,
but picture the wrap it up meme in your head, right? Like, because that's real. People want you to wrap that shit up. Like, they didn't come here to read about your goddamn life. They want to know, is the album good? You know? Keep that to a minimum. Uh, but you're right. It does. Some of the best are about how its connection to you, you know?
right,
Um, yeah. But it's so it's about, to me, it's about who gets credibility and who doesn't, right? And so we live in an age of kind of somber tones a little bit, you know? Um, even have you heard the 6-7 song?
is that Lil Wayne?
No. You've heard the kids doing the 6-7 thing, right?
Yeah, I know that I didn't know that was from a song.
It is.
Okay.
It's Doot Doot in parentheses 6-7 by Skrilla.
Mm,
Yeah. And
okay.
I listened to it today because the kids are loving the 6-7, and it's not a joyous song. It's a spooky song where people get killed in the face, and it's odd. But it's very indicative of what a catchy song is now. Because even as people are getting killed, even as the sounds are making you think you're in a haunted house, part of the chorus is the baby shark do 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 do. Like,
Oh, that's is that the 6-7? Yeah, I've heard that. I think I've heard that song. Yeah.
mm,
Okay.
That's a popular song in 2025. You know, the tastes have gotten odd, right? They've gotten, or how would you say that? Non-traditional, avant-garde, experimental.
I mean,
Popular music used to serve you the basics. Now
hmm,
you get kind of whatever the internet thought was interesting.
fascinating. Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay.
So we go
Fascinating.
from it's hot in her, take off all your clothes
Yeah.
to do 6 7, right? And the nature of the popular song has shifted. The nature of what a fun song is has shifted, right? People are listening to Darth Vader Future for fun as he crashes into drug addiction and post divorce depression.
Well,
Yeah.
lyrically, what I'll say is lyrically, the content is darker.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
In a more overt, not in like a subtle way, in a more overt way.
Right.
Uh, and yeah, I mean, like, and I don't mean dark and not necessarily violent. You know who I think is, and this may sound crazy, like, who do you think is the funnest rapper in
Ooh,
today's
ooh.
modern times?
Are we
Like,
talking
who,
about
who do you think makes the
young?
funnest songs? Because
Are
I think I have someone in mind
we
who
talking
who
about
I
young
who
rappers?
yeah yeah sure.
Um, yeah,
Let's
you
see if we think of the same person.
you go first.
I think Sexy Red makes the fun.
See, Red, that's a good one. That's a good one. I've never enjoyed her stuff, to be honest. Uh, I guess I feel, you know, I enjoy the Flo Milli stuff, like in that sense. But there's so to me, that's another thing we got to talk about. There's different kinds of fun, right?
Oh, absolutely,
So
sure.
somebody like Z Loopers, right, isn't a traditional fun artist who makes traditionally bouncy. Like you're not going to hear that stuff in the club. It's too odd, right?
Hmm.
But it still bounces. It's still quirky. It's still got voice and body. It's fun to listen to, even though it's off speed pitch, right? Like it's yeah, it's a curveball,
Mm.
but it's still fun, right? That's why I picked these albums because they're two different kinds of fun.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's different species of it, right? Where it lives, but it's the reason I was talking about the pop song changing and darkening is because making a fun album in rap, I would say, is harder than it's been.
So in modern day, making a fun rap album is harder.
Yeah. Look at like
Uh,
Chance the Rapper dropped an album this year,
yeah. Oh, that wasn't a fun album though. No, no.
but Chance is fun to listen to. And I did the way we've all kind of been like, no more of that. Like it just feels like things have changed. Um, yeah,
Well, there's none of that. Like I think of like you mentioned "Hot and Her" by Nelly.
right.
Like there's none of that. The early 2000s. I mean, we do have to give credit to the Neptunes and Pharrell, but there aren't songs like "Baby I Got Your Money" from
Right,
ODB
right, right,
or
right.
"Mystical Shake It Fast" uh, or "Hot in Here" by Nelly. There's
Sure.
those types of fun songs you're not gonna hear.
Yeah, it's done.
You don't hear too much anymore.
Right. It's not a thing. Like the Cardi B will sample an old song and make it a new song, but the song is still kind of angry and about the other people she's mad at, you know? Like it's not necessarily yeah.
Yeah, it's dark. I mean, the funnest songs, I mean, are. It's interesting. I mean, I think the funnest songs rap wise are coming from women, not necessarily men.
That's fair.
Uh, like I mean, you think of Sexy Red, you think of WAP is a
Right,
fun
Megan Thee
song.
Stallion, right? Or like, yeah,
Yes,
body
Meg
yada
Thee
yada, whatever.
Stallion, Doechii,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Flo Milli, you mentioned.
Right.
They're the ones making fun rap music.
That's fair. That's fair. And Tyler tried, you know.
Oh, Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh yeah,
With
but
that,
I mean, but his last album was a dance. Was a dance album.
yeah. It's
Uh,
yeah. He had to get out of the genre for that, you know. Um,
Fascinating. Hmm.
it's interesting. So I don't know. We so that's my thing is I think it's harder to make fun rap albums than it has been because the audience is conditioned to the darker flavors. You know, Drake is one of the people I think that is to blame for that, right? Like, I knew what he was doing when I saw the Take Care cover.
Yeah.
The cover of Take Care, him staring into the golden goblet in a sad way, is meant to be the kind of evocative that I am talking about. Drake made a business out of mining kind of the small stakes frustrations in his life and giving his venom to them and making the audience feel like, oh, this is deep, you know this is meaningful. I'm having a meaningful experience. He's telling
Mm.
me something important, you know uh, because yeah, people just felt like they were connecting to something, yeah, in that way.
I
Whereas
mean, like,
sometimes can
yeah,
be
I
a hit.
think of like Best I Ever Had.
Sure.
That was a fun song. It was a song that didn't take itself too seriously. Uh, it was sincere in a way. That was a fun song, and I think after you're right after Take Care, maybe Nothing Was the Same.
Right.
Drake's definition of what a fun song was slowly started to morph.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And it becomes these songs, these angry songs about women on Instagram posting pictures so that their enemies will see it, and all this stuff. And it's
Mm,
just weird, but yeah, he understands that the dark side gets more of a shine, you know?
mm,
Um, but and a fun album can have a dark side. You know what I mean? It can. Um, if it wants to. But
sure.
I just think it doesn't. Yeah, I'm interested in how that's guided through the critical space. Um, because I want a lot of my favorite artists have a balanced diet of this stuff.
A balanced diet of serious
Fun,
and light.
fun, personal
Okay.
stuff.
Right.
Like I was thinking of Cavalier.
Hmm.
Cavalier's really good at giving me fun songs that are rocking that I love, um, and really sad songs, really personal songs, right? Quella Chris, same way. Um, yeah, some of my favorite artists they have a balance to it.
Right.
Um, not that you have to have a balance, because I think we should be able to appreciate greatness wherever it is, right? Um, yeah, but we can start talking about the albums here.
Okay.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, you can choose.
Ooh, the babies and the fool.
Yeah.
What it? I was like, I know we got to talk about this because this is the kind of fun. God takes care of babies and fools. All three parties involved in this. Uh, Actually four because it was mixed by Jose Requiem Gerardo.
Hmm.
Everybody knew what this was for.
What the assignment was for sure. Yeah.
Right. Mono and Stereo, who did the beats.
Mm.
Myka and Blue. This whole album, this 14-song album, feels like a cipher session.
Yes. Yes. There's a looseness to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's not fun music in the hot and her sense, right? This
Oh. Mm.
these are not radio cuts, right? These are not radio hits necessarily. So Micah 9 is from Freestyle Fellowship, which is from The
Mm.
Good Life, right? Those guys back in the day making really experimental, crazy flows, a lot of time off the top of the head, um, and shaping the music, and you could hear
Okay.
you matching into that. This is a celebration of that kind of styling, you know, like
Yeah.
rap styling.
Yeah. I mean, I do think there is a lot of similar elements to like a hot and her, but
Talk to me.
what this doesn't have uh in terms of fun, like when you listen to hot and her, that's a very structured song,
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and that structure is not right.
Nope.
These songs aren't structured like a hot and her. No.
Nope. No, they're and it's a great first song, right? The first song on the project is free,
Hmm.
and it sets the tone for this is this is going to be a lot of fun, right? We're going to just go
Yeah.
with each other, push each other, and we'll see what comes out of the other side.
Hmm. I'd agree with that lyrically. Absolutely.
It does have themes, but the themes are kind of from the subconscious, right? Like
Mm.
they're just going and the themes are taking shape, kind of on their own. That's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, you're right. There's a like a cipher type of feel to it, but I think what makes the album fun, it's not necessarily the lyrics that make I think it's the production. Uh, and it's a very, to me, it's a very like fun songs have a unique production. Like you said, there's a vibrancy, there's a bounce to it. And I think not only were the lyricists on this project loose, but I also thought the production was very loose and bouncy in a way that really heightened everything up for me.
Yeah, dude. You remember Mono and Stereo?
No, did we? I don't remember.
He produced the Homeboy Sandman stuff we talked about.
Oh, okay.
The Rich album that we
Yes,
talked about.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, now okay.
So Mono and Stereo is incredibly good. I would love to talk to him. Incredibly good at crafting around kind of unique flows. right?
Yeah, I mean, there it was almost like, because with a lot of songs, obviously the rapper gets the song and then he raps over the beat. So it's almost like almost one-sided in a way. Like the beat doesn't really change to the rapper in a lot of ways. But
Right.
I felt like in this that looseness in this project, that looseness, there was a lot of, it almost felt like the beat was interacting with the rappers as well. Almost like a live jam session,
Oh yeah,
but with production, like studio production.
yeah, and that's why like it fits that definition for me of an album that activates you.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, there are elements in the production, like I think there was like a piano riff on one of the songs
Mm,
that was just so fun, so bouncy, that
yep.
just kind of infected you with energy, you know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Even when it hues a little darker,
Hmm.
it's just right. Bronze Arm and Hammer
Yeah.
with Planet Asia gets a little meaner, so Planet Asia fits perfect. Um, Crack is so weird, and Self Jupiter and Abstract Rude are awesome. Those are two other people, by the way. Self Jupiter is also from Freestyle Fellowship.
Hmm.
Abstract Rude is like a really important person within that same clique, Good Life stuff, right? There's a Good Life documentary you should check out. I think it's on Netflix, but um, and those guys are all just styling like crazy on that. You know what I mean? Just going.
Hmm.
Um, it's a celebration of that. Those guys changed the world with how they did what they did. Um, and yeah, this is an acknowledgement, like a victory lap of that.
Hmm.
I guess that's a
Yeah.
type of album, like a fun type of fun album, the victory lap album.
And what do you feel like they're celebrating?
Just when people have had long storied careers and they have the respect that they want,
Yeah.
right? Blue's not running around here like, why don't people respect me more as an MC? You know, like Blue gets his respect, Mike and Nine gets his respect. So those guys, they're doing it for the love right now. This is a victory lap.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think that's another element of some fun albums is there's a feeling of there's no stakes involved. Like, you can't really, oh, how do I say it? No. Like you can't, it's very hard to be critical with fun albums.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of, they do a great job of just, yeah, they understand that, these songs are very loose structured, but that's not the point of it. They're just here to have fun. Like,
Right? It's not the like it's not like because sometimes we criticize albums for having no stakes, right?
right.
It's
Yes, we,
not
we
like
have
there's
done.
no stakes here. Why should I care? It's these this album's taking the weight off me,
Hmm.
right? Like it's like I was a little pissed, and now I'm bounced around. I'm happy, right? Like
Yeah.
that. That's the power of something like this album, you know.
And I think it's fun also in the way of like I think everyone involved has chemistry. And I know we've talked about like, like, like a good rap duo is like almost like a buddy cop comedy film.
Hmm.
And where you just want to see these guys, like I think of Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. You just want to put them in as many situations as you can and see how they interact and see what's funny, what what comedy comes out of it. And I kind of feel like I felt the same way about the two rappers on here. Like I just want to put them on a song and see how they interact with each other and what they say.
Yeah,
Like the chemistry is definitely there with them.
nobody cares about the plot of the movie.
Right.
Just enjoying hanging out with these characters.
Yeah.
The comparison of Babies and Fools to Rush Hour is brilliant. Some of your best work, I think.
Uh,
Uh, it's such a good comp. And Micah 9 is my pick for if I could have anyone's rap voice, who would I want? Right? Micah 9's voice is just fantastic. You know,
mm,
he can just go anywhere with it. It's wonderful. Um, so yeah, it was good. Um, the scratches on Happy. This is the second song this year Blue has had called Happy. He had one on the August Fanon album, 40, that was celebrating him turning 40. I wanted to give Blue credit for leaning into the fact that he is happy.
absolutely.
It's hard to stand in front of your audience and be like, my thing for this year is things are going well.
Mm.
Because, like, there was like an old Seinfeld bit, like, I think he was in the subway and he met somebody he knew. Oh, how are things going? And the guy was like, oh, it's great. And he was telling him why. The guy leaves, he turns to Jerry and goes, fucking asshole, I asked how he's doing. He's telling me all this great shit. Like, get out of here. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Like, sometimes you being happy can make other people pissed or
Yeah,
jealous or annoyed.
for sure.
You don't know what condition they're in when
Yeah.
they're hearing this, right? Like they might press play on your happy song and they just came from a funeral.
Yeah, I mean, most people when they ask how you're doing, they want to commiserate. What's the term? Commiserate in misery.
Mm,
So when you say, "Oh no, I'm doing good," like XYZ good things happen for me, they're like, "Oh no, you're not understanding how this interaction is supposed to work."
right. I didn't want to get into all that. Yeah. Um, and so I think it's a very dope thing for him to done to have been like, I'm happy because ultimately, even though you risk that, you can't lie to your audience, dude.
Yeah.
If you put on airs and released your most miserable, poignant album when you're actually happy, you're living in a weird world where now there's like this separation.
Yes, it's
Like
very true.
so what you've done is created a public persona,
Yes.
right? And very similar to a politician. You know what I mean? Um, you know, yeah. You're John Kerry out there in a hunting outfit pretending you hunt. Stop it, bro. Just go home. And so it's that I loved how happy this album is. I love how joyous this album is. Um, is there anything you change about it? Is there anything on the opportunity side?
I mean, I felt like to me, I almost felt like they could have cut one or two songs and made it a little bit more poignant. Um, that was just how I felt about it. I thought there were a lot of really great moments. I mean, it's only 37 minutes, but I thought that maybe there were one or two songs that they they could have taken off,
Yeah.
or maybe it was either that or the ordering.
Mm.
or the way that the tracks were ordered. Yeah, because the ending didn't really resonate with me.
Yeah, it's a soft landing. Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's a fair point. My least favorite song on the album is Gangbang.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. I just thought like because that for me like I look at the run, starting from Bronze Arm literally to probably Babies and Fools.
Oof. Yeah, yeah,
Like that was so strong to me.
yeah, dude.
And then for that song, uh, Gangbang to come on, and I know that that was kind of the posse cut because they had everyone there, so they
Yeah,
almost wanted to build
Far
up.
Side. Far Side's on
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's the coming together of two really important crews, right?
Yes.
And they're coming together over this really weird song. Like it's a hyperbole, right? It's like a uh, playing with the multiple ways that you understand gangbangs, right? Where like there's like,
Yes.
oh, it's a gangbang like that. Like there's gonna be squeaky sex sounds or moaning sounds, but there's also it's like a lyrical gangbang, and it's all and I'm like, this is not as cool as you think it is. Like this is not as
It
yeah.
just I would not have put it like I don't think it was just jarring to go like my favorite song on the album was Ilhoim.
It's so good,
Il Elohim.
so good.
And then for to do Elohim and then 3 songs later do Gangbang, it
Ugh.
just kind of was like, oh no.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was genuinely weird. And battle doesn't register. It's not. You want your last song to be memorable,
Mm-hmm.
and battle's not memorable. But this, maybe what we're talking about is the natural. It's the natural outcome of the process, right? Since this is a free album about styling, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
come in, find itself, be innovative. It's going to hit its peak, but then there's no planned ending arc
Right.
because
That
there's
is
no
true.
story, right? So it's like, how do you end this? How do you conclude this? How do you sum it up if you never found out what it was?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's kind of the issue on that. But even that, I'll accept it. You know what I mean? That's fun. I'll do it. Like
Absolutely.
my favorite run on here is probably 7, 8, 9 Park Bench, Mott, Elohim.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I love Elohim. That's my favorite song on this project. But I think things started clicking for me. I like Bronze Arm and Hammer, Growing Up in L.A. and Crap.
Growing up in LA is awesome. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's Bronze and Hammer's dope. Yeah, that's a great run too. That's a great run on the top side that really locks this album in. Like, oh shit, like this is great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. To me, that run in the middle is like we really found the beautiful kind of apex here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Do you think they should do another one of these?
The same parties involved do another
Is there
project
more?
together.
Is there more to explore here, or is this a fun one-off?
I could see them doing an EP. I think EP like 4 or 5 songs would be great.
Okay,
Uh, but I mean, there's always more to explore with a relationship. I think like like a short project would be great.
but it in my mind, I might be more interested in a full Myka 9 and mono and stereo album, or a full blue mono and stereo album. You know what I mean? I might be more interested in what it would sound like if we broke this off.
I think I would be interested to hear a project. Oh, so you didn't consider this a full project?
Oh, it is. It is. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then I would be interested to hear a project with more structure. Yeah, I mean, if they
Oh,
wanted to do a project with structure, I would be interested in hearing how they look to do that. Yeah,
yeah. Works for me.
but another project like of this nature of that looseness, uh, I would not be necessarily interested in. No.
I'm glad I have this. I'm glad this exists. This is a
Hmm.
fun listen.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't want to do it again. So one of the things fun albums have to make sure they're not doing, a lot of fun artists have destroyed their career by giving you the same type of fun again.
Hmm.
Because you run into that problem of why would I need this album if I already have the other album? Right? So if it's going to be done the same way, why would I need it if I already have this? Right?
Right.
All, also, these two are too good to be put in this space long term where they're riffing like this.
Hmm.
I want them to be songing. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want them to be crafting the next legs of their career. I don't, the riffing is cool, and I'm glad and take a breather, but the mission is something else, right? Like
There's got to be structure because I think like the fun songs that last, as I said, they have structure. Um, whether that's in the chorus or the like the tricks that the rappers using in their verses. Who Drake's another guy that's great at those. So if you want to make songs like that, you've got to have some type of structure. And these songs are fun, and it's great, and it's always great to see guys interacting on a track together. But if they wanted to make, for me, like more music that can withstand the test of time, there's going to have to be a little bit more structure for the fun.
I'm with you. Now, structure. Hold on to structure because
Yeah,
we're going to talk about High Top Fade by the
yeah.
Cool Kids, and I think that is an incredibly structured album.
Hmm.
Like that's a tight ship. They run a tight ship, and
Hmm.
like crazy choruses, right? Dope choruses,
Hmm.
dope verses. It's not like full of guest verses or anything, right? It's like
Right.
mostly Chuck and Mike, right? Chuck English and Sir Michael Rocks. And there's just something special about when they're together.
The Cool Kids, when
Yeah.
the cool, yes, okay.
Because like they're an interesting dynamic for me, right? Like Sir Michael Rocks has another project he dropped this year called Rock Paper Scissors. It's like I don't know, it's EP ish, and it's cool. It's cool, but it's different with Chuck, man. Chuck
Hmm.
English, one of the best producers like of his time,
Hmm.
and when Sir Michael Rocks is sliding over Chuck's beats, it's incredible.
Hmm.
Um, and Chuck is great fitting himself in, doing fun lines, but like the partnership, just they just know each other, you know.
Yeah.
And the more I listened to it, the more I connected to the darker side of the album, High Top Fade.
Hmm. And how would you define the darker side?
There was a certain point where I was like, "Yo, I might need to listen to this less because it's
Hmm.
tapping into." There's a spiritual selfishness to the Cool Kids music. right?
Okay.
I want to be clear about like I'm not talking about some tossed off shit. Throughout they mention I'm friends with scammers, I'm friends with hustlers, right? I'm I've experienced every kind of, you know, scam, confidence play that you can imagine. And because of that, the whole back half of this album is about avoiding intimacy with people.
Hmm.
It's like, no, no. Why are you saying my government name out loud? No, get no, right? Like, and it's the cool kids are always protecting their space.
Hmm.
And oh, I very happily will not trust anyone and just be wearing fun hats and drinking cool smoothies and leaving everybody alone. Like so, this music activates something very specific in me, um, that has its own dark side. Um, I don't know if you picked up on any of that stuff on the album.
Uh, I it's interesting because that you're right. There are lines here and there, but the music is fun, so you're not really like you're not really picking up on. You're like, oh, okay, wow, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, but it's not really like registering with you what he's actually implying from. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point for sure.
It's interesting, and I think this album will be in my albums of the year thing
Mm.
because it's so refined.
Yeah,
Like Rockbox is a perfect old school rap song, right? Run DMC style rap song, you know?
yeah, yeah. That it is because for me, it almost felt like I heard a lot of elements of other songs in this album. So it almost felt like it was like a homage to hip hop in a way.
Yeah, that's the high top fade. It's an homage to like a generation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot, like production wise. It takes me back to like that early 2000s. Uh, no, not early 2000s, like early 2010
Right.
type of sound. How hip hop used to sound.
But and so you get these songs like, popping like I got a jalapeno on me, right? Like,
Hmm.
and that's like a very blog era banger, you know?
Yes, blog air. I like that you said that. The blog air. Yes.
It's a very blog era banger, which is where they're from, yeah, obviously. But Crunch Rap Supreme and, Cinnamon and Back Up Off Me, there's lots of moments in this where I'm like, this is a perfect distillation of 90s R&B sounds.
Yeah.
You know, this is so what 90s R&B is, you know? Uh, I was standing outside we were waiting for my wife to park and come meet us, me and my son, outside of the Hearts of Pine soccer thing in Portland.
Hmm.
And, I'm just sitting on the kind of the metal bar there. And I'm like, and I was just singing the chorus to Back Up Off Me to myself, you know? And I was just like, just fucking, it's so 90s R&B, you know? Um, it's infectious. I listen to it twice whenever it comes on, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a great example of that's the closer to this album. I can't picture it closing any other way.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I think it's like these songs felt like when I compared to the other project, like there was a lot, like you said, there was a lot of structure to these songs. These felt like songs, and I did like the track listing. You're right. I thought that Back of Off that was a good closer. So the way that the track listing was structured, I thought did the project favors.
Yep. Yeah, it's 45 minutes long. So we talked about the kind of fun that God saves the babies and the fools is.
Yeah.
What kind of fun is this?
Um. I thought the production played a huge role. For me, like the common theme of the two projects was the production, and that looseness in production. But what I would say is there was looseness in production, but there wasn't like this there wasn't looseness in terms of the song structure and the lyrics. Like this wasn't a cipher. Like they felt like songs. It reminded me a lot, like I said, of the early 2010s and how they used to structure songs like that in terms of for the radio.
It's for me, I would say what's always made the cool kids really interesting is they're so stylish. They have so much charisma
Mhm.
that you just get hypnotized by it. You know,
Yeah,
they have a way. It becomes like all the elements of the world make sense. You know, um, and I talked about in terms of extremes, right? There's extreme sadness over here and extreme happiness over here. There's
yeah.
no extremes in the cool kids world. No extremes. Everything is very in the middle, right? And like, but to all these interesting different degrees, right?
Hmm.
Even their bangers don't, they're not yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? Like the cool kids would never yell at you.
Right. That's interesting.
So there's a thing where like someone has so much charisma everyone gets swept up in, you know? They're, I'm following that person, you know? And
Right.
the cool kids kind of have that. Um, but they also have the craft, right? Like
Yes.
great choruses. They understand the world they build is so complete,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's interesting. The How did you feel about the interplay of the voices? Was there anything that stood out? Was it like an old school group where you're like, I'm not even thinking about who's rapping. This is just a song.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of. So it's. I'm trying to think of when the time span would be. Like there was a very specific type of rap. I'm thinking maybe when was this? Maybe like 2003, 2004. Like the way that they had like I mean, I don't know if you ever heard of Philly's Most Wanted?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was in that type of vein where it was just too cool, like they were just two cool rappers, just they were just
Or,
rapping.
or state property.
Say property, yes. It was
Yeah, like
just
the very like yeah, the the girls they love us. Like, it's very like
yes.
very off the cuff, very like we have our own swagger and our own world.
Yeah, we're like the guys in like the VIP section of a club, and you're welcome to join, man. Just don't act too crazy. You know,
Got
don't do anything
inside
wild.
jokes. We're not stressing over these people. You know, I guess Dipset would be another case like that.
Sometimes, I mean, Dipset, they would say some wild things at times, but yeah,
They would, but they had their own developed swagger, right?
yes,
They had their
yeah,
own style. They were always kind of expanding on it.
yeah.
And the family tree of it was always growing. Yeah.
And you don't get that type of. I mean, like I can't think of that type of rapping in like modern times. You know, like we don't really have like duo. Do you? Can you think of any duo groups in like mainstream hip hop now?
I mainstream, I don't, no. I mean, the closest we had was
Maybe
probably
clips. I mean clips,
well,
but no,
Run the
no
Jewels,
young.
right? Run the Jewels were
Right,
in there for a while, but um, and they were bubbling out of underground into popular culture.
right,
But you know, it's that's not a thing that new cats want to do.
right,
In the pop space, it's risky enough to just live your solo career in the pop space, let alone
right.
bring somebody else in. But yeah, these guys are a real rap group
Yeah.
where they trade off and bounce off each other, and they develop their own language and their own world.
Hmm.
And you always feel like you are like as a listener, such a special feeling, man. You feel like you're at a really fucking cool party, but they know each other, they have inside jokes and you don't.
Yes. That coolness. Right. That coolness.
And you're trying desperately to be like, yeah, 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 ha ha ha. I know that, you know? Like that's the cool kids listening experience, and that's dope, man. I don't know. Like how rare is that? Usually the album you're listening to wants you so bad, wants you to be supporting it, wants you to understand it, to love it, right? Like, please, this is my
Mm,
truth.
mm.
The cool kids do provide truths about themselves, but it almost feels begrudging, like it leaks out, you know? Like they don't really need you to know anything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a level of detachment. Like all the cool people are detached in a way. There's a level of detachment.
I mean, this the last song is Back Up Off of Me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think in Crunchwrap Supreme, I think some Michael Rocks takes a moment and says, "Why do all the relationships have to be like this?" And like he talks throughout. There's this like repetitive theme from Sir Michael Rocks this of like, "I'm the fun guy," you know. When your relationship goes south and you're arguing with your person and you need a break, you come to me. We have sex, we have fun, we make jokes. I make you smile, then you go back to him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
And what's so
great way to put it.
fascinating about it, Kay, from like, so this is where my argument is, where you can do the six-layer dig on this album and it's fun, right? Because it's not a sexist album, even
Because
though
sexist.
it's not sexist. Yeah,
Hmm.
even though he's out there saying, "I'm the fun guy. We have sex." Like they never say anything bad about women. I don't remember seeing anything, right, or hearing anything that where they were like trashing women. Like they are
Right. Misogynist. Yeah. There's no misogynist.
no,
Misogyny.
there's very warm songs, very loving songs about women, there's just never a relationship. Never. Like, never. It's like, I respect you. It's really cool. I enjoy the time. I think about how we had sex all the time, but I'm gonna go over here, buy a dope sweater, roll with the homies, and I'll see you later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no degrading. The degrading of anyone in this.
Which
And
makes it so interesting, right? Because they're not angry at anybody, they're not
no,
coming at anybody, but the women that want more of them, they got that wall up.
it's funny because now that I think about it, like degradation is sort of like an element of modern like fun songs
True, true.
in a way, like, hey, look at how much fun I'm having that you're not or you can't have.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah,
look at all of these people around me that don't even mess with you.
right. But and they do a good job on this High Top Fade album of redefining power and coolness outside of a predatorial stage.
Yeah.
Think about Cinnamon,
Hmm.
right?
Which I did like that song grew on me. The second time I heard it, I liked it.
And the whole like, I texted Def C because I was like, dude, Cool Kids being from Chicago and jumping on this and being like, R. Kelly's a piece of shit. Like, that's the
Hmm.
chorus is why they're the fucking best.
Mm.
No one from Chicago is doing this. And they were like, fuck him. You know what I mean? But like,
Mm.
wow. And that's a song that is not, it's not about R. Kelly. It's about women and the women they have enjoyed, right? And
Mm.
not they paint those scenarios not just in terms of got those titties and ran, but like I enjoyed our time. Like I enjoyed and I enjoyed her and I enjoy, it's taking that out of the predatorial space and being like,
Right.
this is what fucking cool is. Demanding respect and giving respect.
Mm. Yeah, I like how you put that.
I could talk about this fucking album all day, dude.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the sensibilities, it almost feels, and so weird to call like early 2000s like old, but it almost feels like a relic of like a different time.
Yeah, it really does, man. It really does. That's the that's another thing about this album is it feels like when they like what albums would you put in a sealed thing and bury under the ground so somebody would find it and discover it, right?
Yeah.
This feels like an album that you popped the lid and it was there.
Well, yeah, like I said, there I heard a lot of references to other songs in there. Like one of the songs they sampled Many Men. I mean, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
flow
yeah.
was
Cinnamon.
Simon, yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't even it was, and I was like, this isn't even a rap song.
Right. It's like an R&B song. And the
Yeah,
chorus is different, but within the same cadence. Like they're
yes,
so good with choruses. Every chorus had meaning. Every chorus was catchy. I don't know, man.
and they were doing it like to honor him. Like when they're that overt, when people do things that overtly, it's not like they were trying to like I don't know, like try to feed off of the song's energy, but they was just like, you know what, this sounds like a cool idea. Let me throw some homage to 50 Cent. And there were other moments like that all throughout the album. So that's why I mean it really was fun in terms of that regards.
I would, if you asked me what my favorite runs are, I would be hard pressed.
Mm.
Because 1 through 15, it really feels like these songs kind of need each other.
So let's see.
Like I don't say my name, trying to get like you. Like you can't take these Blade Runner's crazy. Like these songs just feed one another. And after you've heard it a few times, it all kind of locks together and
yeah,
becomes high top fade.
I would agree with that.
I don't know if you have. I don't want to take away from you. If you have runs, feel free.
I mean, let's see what stood out to me. I think, I mean, 95 South. I'll go, I'll go 95 South, Banana in the Tailpipe, Blade Runner.
Yeah,
I love that 95 South song. That was probably my favorite. But you're right. All of the song kind of just flow into each other in like a natural way.
yeah, dude. It's think I the front half that from 1 to 6, right? From the opener to 95 South,
Hmm.
that's the album I was like, yeah, this is a cool kid shit. Dang, like come on, let's go.
Hmm.
Um, but that's the more I listen to the second half of the album and how unique it is, the more I was just like, holy shit. The Back Up Off Me, Crunchwrap Supreme really started to stand out. Cinnamon fit into that. I don't know. That whole second half to me was really, it really grew
Mm.
the more I listened to it.
Yeah.
Because it, I guess if I had kept getting the bangers from the first half, I would have been a little worn out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a good. I mean, that's a good way to put it.
If I
There's
got 15
contrast.
banana in the tailpipes, I would be like, come on, man. Like, I love it, but come on. But they surprise you. They find ways to surprise
Yeah. I mean, Cinnamon that's one of the most unique songs. Like you mentioned, that's one of the most unique songs that I've heard this year.
you. Yeah.
Because I did not see a song like Cinnamon coming. Um.
Yeah, no, it's a real standout moment. Um, and yeah, they find ways to surprise you, which is important. Fun still needs to surprise you, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, so they did that shit, man. Yeah. I This is a great like album to study. Both of these albums are great albums to study because they're by old masters who've been doing this for 1,000 years, right?
Right.
So if you're like, I want to get together a rap group that makes fun albums, right? Um, these are good people to study because they know how to create variation, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
So there is a rap group, okay, that is a big deal.
Okay.
Joey Valence and Bray, they're youngsters, right? Been around for a few years. They had a ridiculously silly, fun album called No Hands, very inspired by like Beastie Boys era stuff.
Mm.
This
Okay.
year they released the follow-up, Hyper Youth, and it was like No Hands, but not as good.
Like No Hands, but not as good.
Right.
Okay. What made it not as good?
You know how we talk about like we establish the sound, now we're building it, right?
Mhm.
When that goes wrong, you're establishing the sound and then depreciating it.
Mm.
And it was partially because they didn't change enough from No Hands to Hyper Youth. They didn't have a like the people we talked to Like when we talk to somebody like Zilla Rock, he'll be like, I knew this couldn't sound like the last one. So we
Yes.
got together and thought, what are we going to do? What direction are we going to go?
Yes.
So if you don't do that, stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Try to shit
Ideally,
on.
you want your you don't. Ideally, you don't want your projects to sound the same.
Right.
Where we can, because if they sound the same, we, like you said, we can compare them. Like, hey, you did this last time, and it wasn't as good. Now it's a whole different conversation if you do something different, and people say, yeah, I don't like this like I did the last one. That's different. So as an artist, you got to find ways to, keep your, be consistent, but at the same time, be like you said, be able to provide a surprise,
Right. You
something
got to be
new.
able to provide surprise them, surprise yourself,
Yeah.
find new ground. This is not to shit on Joey Valence and Bray, who I genuinely think have a good future. I just there's a good example of this is the downside of being an artist that makes fun music is you
Well,
have to be conscious enough of you need to change. Like Billy Woods knows he has to make a different album each time because he knows the critics are holding him to a high standard, right? But if you're known for your fun, you could just keep giving them your fun and you run yourself down.
but
If
but but it's interesting because I think. Do you think that there is? Do you think that there is like a time limit to fun? Like, do you
probably.
like? I don't. Do you? I don't think that you can build a career on fun. I think it's just. I
Oh, I
think
think
it's
you can. I think you definitely, if you, so go back to the career of Little John and the East Side Boys. Go back to those
okay.
albums.
Okay.
They're full of surprises.
How many projects did they do together?
They did a bunch, I feel like.
Like, I think of, like, the guy who's coming to my mind is 50 Cent.
Right.
Like, I think Get Rich or Die Trying, that's a fun album.
Mhm.
Uh and then I think, what was after that? The Massacre, and then after that was Curtis. So it was almost like, we're having fun, but where are we going with this? And then I contrast him to a guy like Kanye. Kanye started out with College Dropout, then went to Late Registration, then went to Graduation, and then went to 808s and Heartbreak.
So, by the way,
Yeah.
Little John and the East Side Boys as a collective
Okay.
have 5 albums. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, one gold plaque, 2 albums that went double platinum. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So it, but those albums, like I said, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Jadakiss is rapping, right? Like,
Yeah.
so Little John was a bit of a genius behind the boards, man, the production, and he knew he couldn't rap, but he kept the flavors coming over his beats because he knew, like, that's what he had to do.
See, now that, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned Little John, because I think you can build. Okay, maybe I have a caveat. You can have a career based on fun, but I think you have to have a good producer to do that.
Right, right.
Like, you have to have like, to kind of tie it to these. Who was the Cool Kids? Who did? Was there someone who handled the bulk of that production?
Chuck English, all of
Chuck
it.
English. Okay, so he did the bulk of that,
Did
and
all
then the other project was handled by.
mono and stereo.
Yes. So I think if you have that one producer who is talented and can kind of guide your direction, you you can kind of make it work. But that's putting a lot of pressure on the producer as well.
Yeah, I mean it's about vision, right? Like
Yes.
if you have the vision and the world can keep expanding, you can keep rolling,
Hmm.
you know? But if you run into the wall and you can't back it up, like you're now you hit the wall, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, it, these two albums are really good to study to avoid the kind of problem that Joey Valence and Bray had of like getting stale, you know, switch it
Right.
up. These are great albums to study for switching it up. Um, yeah. Do you want to go to recommendation corner, sir?
Sure.
Sure, sure. Man, we're doing it. So, oh, an album I really fell for hard that is just really not like any of this. The fourth full length LP by Macy Rodman, Scald. It's
Gold.
very, huh?
What did you say? What's the name of it?
Scald.
SCALD. Okay, interesting.
It's very like it's electronic and dance music, but it's like 90s dirty electronic dance music,
Oh,
grungy.
okay.
The lyricism is very sarcastic and very unique. The songs are just big and fun and great, like interesting, engaging. Um, yeah, Scald is dope. Scald is dope.
Okay.
So totally outside of the world that kind of we usually do, but I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and oh shit, the Yasmin Lacey just dropped. Oh shit, Teal Dreams. Ooh, can't wait to
Okay.
hear that. Can't wait to hear that. Um, let me see here. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Teller Banks has a new album with with Ed Glorious, The Wolf and the Walrus. Dog, Teller's on a run right now. He started the year with Black Man with Wino Willie, and it's still one of my favorites. Then he released the Drug Money thing with all the producers, you know, the we talked to Killer Kane about, and
Uh,
now this. If this hits, that's three. That's pretty dope.
yeah,
Um,
man.
that's good work.
I feel like it's every other show he releases like a project. It's just
He never stops rapping, man.
yeah,
Never
never
stops
stops, man.
rapping, bro. Yeah, I love his work. Um, yeah, I thought I had another one. Um, yeah, we'll see. But you, what do you got? What are you looking at?
The recommendation I would like to give is it's a very fun album of a different genre. So it's The Cure, the band The Cure, and it's Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Beautiful.
Uh, I think that really it really plays into what we were saying about the kinetic energy, a looseness. Um, so that's what I would recommend this week.
I'm with you, man. Oh, the last one. There's an artist we've seen live, Kay. We
Okay.
saw Armand Hammer live. We saw somebody open for Armand Hammer called
Yes.
Naval.
Yes.
Pink Naval, by the way, was fantastic. Like fantastic live, but also cool. Just hung out, was really nice to everybody, knew every word of everybody else's music, was just really hype, you know?
Mhm.
He's left the Rap Ferreira clique. He is on his own and he goes by Dot Dev now.
Hmm.
DOTDV. and he released There Was a Wind But No Chime.
There was a wind, but no chime.
And
Very philosophical.
it's a really good album. Really good use of his voice. Um, yeah, really well done. So shout out .dev.
Yeah.
Being able to move on out of the Ruby Yacht clique and just do it on your own, that's pretty dope. That's pretty
Hmm.
dope. Good times, man. The what was I doing? I'm reading a ton of comic books right now.
Okay.
That's been a lot of fun for me. Image Comics has done a lot of good work. There's a series going on called Ghost Pepper that's really dope.
Mm.
Yeah, their science fiction, post-apocalyptic stuff is really good. Really good. I tweeted that Image Comics to me is the bridge between the comics I grew up on and the manga universe. It pulls those
Okay.
elements together. So
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, it's dope.
Image Comics.
Yep. Image Comics, a lot of good shit, man. A lot of good shit. There's a one of their best science fiction books. I wrote this whole best 100 comic book runs by a writer list thing. Posted it on freemusicempire.com. And it was like one of the ones that was on that was Rick Remander's Black Science. I just got a giant compendium of that. I'm
Okay.
so excited.
You said compendium?
Yeah, it has
Wow, I've never heard that word. That's a new word.
yeah, buddy. Compendium. It has the whole series. It's so dope. So dope. So
Hmm.
I'm into it. I'm into it. Um, yeah. And shout out, go to freemusicempire.square.site. You can get the Free Music Empire hoodie that is beautiful. I wear all the time. You can get the Free Music Empire bucket hat, which Sankofa has, wears all the time. You can get the Free Music Empire shoes.
Wow.
They're very in the fashion of Chuck Taylor's. They're very Chuck-ish in their design, Chuck adjacent. Um, and the design is dope. It's dope. So and I say that because I did it. This was great. But yeah, go to that, cop it. It's great. Um, appreciate all the time everybody's put in. Uh, listening to what we do. Thousands and thousands of listens, bro. It's crazy. Crazy. So we got big stuff coming up, big guests. The challenge is always ahead.
What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow